When we're looking to spend money in this new year, let's be better to ourselves and not try to give ourselves haphazard fixes for things causing us discomfort or let our brains convince us that lip gloss will somehow get us closer to a whole lifestyle we aspire to. Welcome to the Love Your Brain podcast, the podcast designed for everyday people who are ready to hop off the negative thought hamster wheel and enjoy a less hostile environment in their own brains. Our brains are where we live our entire lives, and I'm on a mission to help people see that they have everything that they need to make it a happier place to be. So join us for this episode of the Love Your Brain podcast. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Love Your Brain podcast, or welcome if you're new. Right now, we are mid-January. It's post-holidays, and a lot of people are trying to reel in some of their overconsumption habits that have crept in during the holidays. A lot of people are trying to spend less because maybe they overdid it a bit with gifts and celebrations. I know I've been seeing a ton of stuff on social media with the whole theme, No Spend January, where people are trying to go the whole month without spending any unnecessary money, which honestly doesn't sound like my kind of fun, but I get it. Sometimes spending money can feel really out of control. Like, can I even leave my house without spending $100 each time? Well, there is a reason for all of this. There's a science behind how the brains operate and react in shopping experiences. And today we're going to go and take a deep dive into just that. So, if you're someone that is wanting to reel in your own spending a bit, we're going to give you some tools on how to hack how your brain works to accomplish those goals. But honestly, these tools can be helpful for just about anyone, regardless if you have any desire to spend less. It will help you understand what's happening in your own brain when you're considering buying something and what marketers already know and have probably already used to take advantage of you for ages. In addition, today's episode will give you some good insight into the process our brains go through when assigning meaning to things, which is something we'll also go over in our Vision Board Masterclass. If you haven't checked it out yet, I definitely encourage you to do so, and I'll leave that information in the show notes below. But really, things are never what they seem when it comes to our brains. Remember, the brain is a machine. And once we can start dissecting that, it can help you to make decisions in a way that actually serve your goals, instead of just taking you down all kinds of paths that are not for you or aligned with your authentic self. So let's get into it. Have you ever really looked at an ad or a commercial from a critical lens? Say, for example, selling something super tiny and seemingly insignificant. Let's take lip gloss as an example. Now, lip gloss is fun. We love lip gloss. But will lip gloss change your whole life? Not likely. But if you were to look at an ad or a commercial for lip gloss, you might think otherwise. What companies are selling you is truly a whole personality, a whole lifestyle, or a life experience that could, in fact, have nothing to do with the item that they're trying to get you to buy. You could plug and chug just about any item into the ad that you're looking at, and it could make sense. It could fit in just fine because literally they're not related. The story that your brain is getting is much different than what you think. So, take a lip gloss ad, for example. You might see a girl coming out of Pilates class in a really cute outfit. She's got a fancy little purse. She pulls out her lip gloss. Out of that fancy purse, she applies her lip gloss and then she puts it away. Then she walks down a busy street with the sun shining on her face. She meets up with her friends at a smoothie shop. They sit there drinking their smoothies, laughing, having a great time. So, when we watch this ad, maybe like 1 second, we're actually seeing the lip gloss. But what is the rest of this ad? It's selling you everything else. It's selling you the lifestyle of this person applying the lip gloss, the lifestyle where you too can have that cute bag, go to Pilates, live in a city that's always sunny, and grab smoothies with a bunch of friends, and laugh and have a great life, right? They aren't selling you the lip gloss, they're selling you the lifestyle of a person who they want you to believe uses that lip gloss. It doesn't matter the product, you'll see that kind of marketing everywhere, and understandably so. I mean, I'm not mad at marketers because if I was in that business, I would probably be doing the same thing because it works. And it works because that's how our brains work. Our brains apply meaning to everything that we see, and our brains will fill in the blanks, whether it's factual or not. I mean, think about influencers. The whole reason they're successful is because they're influencing you to buy the things that they buy and use the things that they use because your subconscious believes if you have all those parts, all those things like that person, you will also experience a life like that person. That's why their marketing is so effective. People will say that we buy what they buy because we can relate to them, but that's not, in fact, what's really happening in our brains. Our brains are telling us to buy more of what they buy because it believes it will actually change our life to be more like theirs. And to us, theirs looks better. And the brands know all of this. They associate their marketing techniques with what they're trying to create for you. For example, think about athletic brands. They're selling you a lifestyle as someone who is active and vibrant. These ads aren't just saying something like, well, these are great pants. They're durable, they wear well. They're actually associating their marketing instead with showing you people doing very specific things while wearing their gear to sell you a whole persona, a whole identity of person who wears this gear. They don't tell you, well, these pants will last you 10 years, not rip, they won't get stinky, and they'll come off easy even when you're really sweaty. I mean, these days that wording might be somewhere in the fine print on the tag, but in the marketing that we're seeing, it's actually showing you this gorgeous person who you aspire to be, doing things that you aspire to do, maybe even taking on physical challenges that's nothing like what your current lifestyle looks like. So, what do we do about this? We obviously aren't going to be able to change how companies market to us, but we can change how we respond. And don't get me wrong, I would not call myself any kind of minimalist. I'm not here telling you to stop buying things because that's definitely not me. I love things. I love collecting things. I love dopamine decor. I love consuming. I love grabbing an iced coffee anytime I can get it. It is what it is. But what I am saying is knowledge is power here. And the more you know about how your brain works, the easier it will be to start making decisions about your consumption that feel really good. Decisions that align with you at your core. And if you are trying to spend less, this will help you see what is worth your time and money and what's not. So, if we know marketers are trying to appeal to our desire for the whole package, for the whole lifestyle, for the whole persona, if we can see that what they're showing us is way more than the item is providing, like we covered in the lip gloss example, then we can ask ourselves some really valuable questions before we click buy on the next item. Here are a couple questions that I found really helpful when I'm in this process of trying to decide if I really want to buy something. The first question I ask myself is, am I expecting this item to do more for me than it can do for me? For example, maybe you're looking at some new cleaning tool for your house. Just take a moment before you click buy and sit with your thoughts on it. When you think about that item, what are you thinking about your life with that item, with that cleaning tool? What's the visual that you're having? What's the scene that you're seeing in your life when you envision yourself with this cleaning tool? We all usually have it. We may not pay attention to it, but it's usually happening. And maybe it's a visual that happens in your brains when you're thinking about purchasing that item and you're seeing parts of your life maybe being cleaner that aren't really related to that tool. Maybe it's a mop, for example. This cleaning tool is a mop and we're thinking of buying it, but when we're thinking about our life with the mop, we see that our home is all tidy with everything picked up off the floor. The counters are clear, and maybe we're having lots of people over, maybe more people than we would normally have over because our house is just so clean and tidy. And we're feeling really good about it in this visual that we have in our head. And that's the feeling that's making us want to buy the mop. That is a super common trail that our brains will go down. But think about it. Can that mop do all of that for you? Are you expecting more from that mop than it can provide? Will that mop clean the clutter out of your home or help you put your stuff away or clean your counters? No. It's strictly going to make your floors look cleaner if you use it. And that's a big if, which we'll cover here shortly. But you're actually wanting to buy this mop because it feels like if you buy it, your house might be more tidy and you would feel like you could have more people over more often. That might be the case for you. Well, the mop is likely not going to get you there. There's a lot of other factors, it sounds like, that might have to happen for that life change to occur. So, that information can help you determine if, in fact, the mop is actually worth it for you to purchase. And that pause and reflection also gives you some really good data to work with. So let's take that a step further. Maybe instead of buying a mop, we now recognize that you actually just might need to bite the bullet and invite a friend over to hang out, clean house or not. That might be what your brain is actually craving in this moment, more than just buying a mop. But your brain is telling you that that mop will symbolize that you're a person with a clean house that has people over. And as silly as that might sound as I'm saying it, that is what our brains do. They apply meaning to everything we see around us. And that's why we have a whole culture around people wanting to have the fancy car or the fancy purse or the big house because of the story that the item is telling people, whether it's true or not. It's communicating to the people around us a meaning about who we are. So let's circle back to the part where I said the mop would make our floors look cleaner if we used it, and the if was a big thing. So, in your ideal world where you were envisioning your life with this mop, you had a bunch of steps to even use it. So, maybe part of that was, organizing or picking things up off the floor. Maybe there are things that just aren't happening regularly for you right now. Keeping your house organized might be really challenging. Well, that might actually be an area worth investing in. If there's a bunch of hurdles to you even being able to use the mop, then those hurdles might be the things to look at. For example, it sounded like in the visual, it highlighted having a tidy home with less clutter. So maybe instead of a mop, maybe the first step is to get some organization in place so the clutter isn't causing such an issue. That would be a purchase that might be more closely aligned with your goals. Or maybe what's needed is a conversation with those that live in your house, that you want to come up with a game plan to keep up the house and keep it a little bit cleaner. That's also a great option. All I'm saying here is with our mop example, if you pause and think about the purchase, and what you're hoping to get from it, what does your visual tell you? That information can really help you to decide if you want to proceed and if proceeding with that purchase is in fact aligned with you, your goals, and with who you are as an individual, not with what you're seeing in an ad or imagining about what the item will provide you. So, the next question that can be really helpful to ask before making the purchase is, what does this item mean for me? Like I talked about, maybe you are looking at buying something, let's say, for example, a purse. And when you're thinking of buying it, you realize that owning that purse to you symbolizes being financially successful. That could be the meaning behind it for you. And honestly, don't be judgy of yourself. It's okay if that's what you're thinking. If buying that purse is a way to celebrate your success, that's totally fine. You have a right to do that with your money. If that aligns with you and how you want to celebrate yourself, just go for it. But if you're buying the purse because you think it will make you feel financially successful because you don't feel that way already, well, then go back to that first question and realize that that purse can't give you the financial success. So it's not likely going to give you that feeling of long term financial success, even once you own the bag. But maybe instead consider, what would it look like to make an investment that would get you closer to that financial success that you're looking for? Like maybe investing in some career training or education, or learning how to invest your money wisely. Those things could be worthwhile to pursue in place of purchasing the purse. And I know these sound like silly examples, and maybe you think this is too much effort, but really it's so important. And what I feel like is so valuable with these questions is you're getting to the essence of what's actually important to you. Normally, the reason we're drawn to purchasing these items is because it's something related to an area of life that might be subconsciously causing us some discomfort, and we're looking for an easy solution. So just be good to yourself. Give yourself a second to find out the core of that issue. And if there's something that could give you a bit more relief than the temporary high of believing that that silly purchase will actually solve the bigger or deeper issue for you. More than saving money, I want that for you, that you take the time to learn more about yourself. What are those underlying things causing you discomfort and spending the time needed to find good solutions for them? So, to recap, when we're looking to spend money in this new year, let's be better to ourselves and not try to give ourselves haphazard fixes for things causing us discomfort or let our brains convince us that lip gloss will somehow get us closer to a whole lifestyle we aspire to. But instead, let's take a second. Let's ask ourselves some helpful questions, something like, Am I expecting this item to do more for me than it can? Or what does this item mean for me? What is the meaning I'm assigning to it? And just see where these questions lead us. It might just give you some really cool clues that you didn't even expect. Like maybe instead of that mop you saw at Target, you need to actually just call your neighbor and see if they'll come over and have coffee with you. Or maybe instead of that fancy purse, you need to set up a time with your boss to have a talk about that promotion you've really been hoping for. Let's make our moves wisely in this next year so that we're actually making decisions that align with who we are at our core and moving forward in a way that fulfills what we really want for ourselves. Because you are 1000% worth it. So, again, don't forget, check out the information on the Vision Board Masterclass in the show notes below. I'm offering it currently, and it really does have a unique way of getting to these core issues and helping you concretely start to train your neural pathways to see solutions. So if that sounds like your jam or something you're wanting in the new year, definitely check that out. All right, guys, have a great week. I hope you found something helpful here today on the Love Your Brain podcast. Maybe a laugh or a feeling of validation, or maybe just a few moments to have company while you do your laundry. Whatever you take from it, I hope you enjoyed your time and leave feeling empowered to be more you every day. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on the next episode, and leave a review. I'd love to hear what you think. Have a great one.